What's going on, guys? CJ here, and this is a Week 13 NFL line breakdown podcast. Let's go. Week 13, man, and not too much of the season left. Kind of sad, but at the end of the day, we got to take advantage of these last couple weeks here, right? So, real quickly, normally Tom is on here with me on these pods. For this week, he is not on here. He has some family. Obviously, it's a holiday week, and he has some family arrangements, and he really tried to make it just. It wouldn't have worked out with where he was at in terms of just recording the pod in the moment with me. But he did throw out his free pick, right? Because he's 6-5-2, I believe that is. I'd have to double check. I know he's 6-5 for sure. I'd have to double check the pushes. 6-5-2 going into week 13, and he did throw out his free pick for you guys, which I'm gonna give you guys right now. This free pick for him today for tomorrow. He likes the Kansas City Chiefs. His reasoning behind it was expects a little bit of regression from Dallas. Chiefs on the road, on turf. He definitely believes that the Chiefs are going to come out in Dallas, win this game, and give Dallas a run for their money at home. And he definitely thinks that the creative play calling of Andy Reid is going to lead to more Kansas City scores, and that defense for KC, which they did lock down second half against the Colts. His reasoning was they just played stronger as the game went, and they're going to come into this spot more prepared than this Dallas team. So he likes KC -3, trying to go to 7-5, man. He is trying to go to 7-5 on this mid a little older NFL season, I'd say. But hopefully he caps it off and goes 7-5. I'm rooting for him. We all are, unless I like Dallas some more. Right now I'm undecided on the game. But keep you guys all posted. Not even keep you guys posted. You guys can watch the game. So that's his free pick, KC -3 tomorrow. Now I'm going to give a quick rundown on these games. So I'm going to give a quick rundown. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter pod, but I definitely want to give you a couple of opinions, ideologies on some of these games. Okay, so we're going to just start it right off. Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions, game 1 tomorrow. Detroit -3. And over-under sitting at 48. That's a division game. I think the line is set right at Detroit -3 because the Lions at home can smack anybody, right? But at the same time, I think the Packers are little by little starting to play better football. And to me, I just think the Packers have high expectations. So when they have high expectations, everybody expects them to blow everybody out. But it's the NFL. It's a National Football League. You're not going to blow everybody out every week. And if you are, kudos to you, man. That being said, I think the Lions set about right in this division matchup. I know the line has toggled from 3, 2.5, 3, 2.5. But line set about right, man. So we're going to start this Thanksgiving off with a bang tomorrow. I think that's the first game. Then we're going to get into the KC-Dallas game. So KC on the road. Line looks a little suspect, right? KC's -3. I definitely believe the line's a little inflated. Why it's inflated, I'm not sure. Maybe it's something in culmination of Dallas, maybe a letdown spot, how they beat the Eagles last week. To give KC 3 on the road in Dallas, to me, is a little suspect in terms of an inflated line. However, you guys know me. I always got to find the value and kind of see where the value is at and where it's going to go or whatnot, right? So to me, that line is a little inflated. I definitely think that line could be more, maybe KC -1.5, 2. I know that's Tom's pick, and he did his research on it. I personally have to dig in a little more to see why the line is 3. But that line to me is a little inflated. Like I said, I think the line should be 1.5. But just because you think that, value doesn't always mean you win, man. Value doesn't always convert into wins at the end of the day. Ravens, Bengals, Ravens -7. So Ravens at home, -7. Joey Burrow is expected to play. I don't know if he's been ruled in for sure yet. But then you have injuries for Lamar. I think the line's a little high, personally. Excuse me. In a division game, I think the line's a little too high. I think that line can even be 6.5, 6. Reason being 6.5, 6 that I say is because at the end of the day, Joey Burrow hasn't played in a while. Whether it's him or Flacco, right? I still think the line is a little high. But being that the Bengals defense has been so bad, I kind of understand it. I think -7 is not an understatement to say in that game. Over-under sitting at 51.5. Personally, I think that should be lower. I think that's a little higher. But with these two offenses and Chase coming back this week, realistically, they can put up some points, man. So Bengals, Ravens. Tomorrow should be a real fun day, man. I just personally think it should be a real fun day of football. And if you're listening to the Woody Lesson Wednesdays, there's a crazy stat out there with favorites just covering on Thanksgiving, man. So covering and winning. Let's see how it goes tomorrow. I personally don't think every single one of these favorites, these games are too highly contested, too good matchup. These three are good matchups to where I don't feel like they're going to be super highly contested, in my opinion. Or I don't feel like they're going to be super blowouts or anything like that, especially being the two of them are division games, right? But let's go on to Friday. So Friday we got the Eagles and we got the Bears. They got the Prime Video Friday game, which is kind of cool. So they're adding another game of football. The only minus to that is they're taking off a game of football on Sunday. So when the Sunday slate comes, you're kind of like, hey, what's going on with all the games? Well, it's because we fucking played four earlier in the week already, you know. But football's football, man. I love it any day. So the Eagles are laying 7 against the Bears. They're both 8-3. Why is that line 7? That just tells me odds makers don't respect the Bears, or they feel like they've been, kind of getting through. I will say that, like the Commanders last year, look at the Commanders' record this year. Obviously, they have no Jaden Daniels, right? But their one-score games haven't gone their way for the Commanders, and the Bears have a lot of one-score games this year. The Bears are literally the Commanders of last year, so they're either going to get blown out or they might even win the damn game. The way it's looking, the way that their stats line up when it comes to one-score games, but there's a get right spot for Philly, so I understand the line being 7. And I think the line probably should be 7. At the same time, I'm not saying the Bears can't go in there and win the game. So I personally think that this line was set right. It's not easy to take the Bears and it's not easy to take the Eagles because the Eagles also per EPA rank pretty low offensively, and the Bears defensively, I know they've shown they can play better at Soldier Field, but I just don't trust them. In general, whether it's at Soldier Field or on the road. If you guys want me to be honest with you, however, can I trust the Eagles with the offense that it is? One thing that I know the Eagles will bring is a defense. Really, I do think they're going to bring the defense tomorrow, barring any injuries, or Friday. I'm sorry, barring any injuries. So, line being 7's just about right. Okay. Next game: Houston Texans and Indianapolis Colts. So we got Colts laying 4.5. The Colts are coming off of the win that they had in London. That they had that win in London, but then they had a loss to the Chiefs, right? Last week they lost to the Chiefs, and they could have lost to the Falcons before then, before they had their bye week. They're going to be coming home to face a good Texans defense. 4.5 in a division game might sound high. However, I understand why they put the line here. Maybe I think it should be 3.5, 4, but 4.5. It's ticking in around the right direction. Personally, I think that the line should be there. I think CJ Stroud will be coming back this week, so that's another thing to look out for. But can he be a little rusty? Yeah, he could definitely be a little rusty. So if you're going to be taking the Texans, you're going to be taking them because you believe that defense is going to be able to stop Jonathan Taylor on that turf and Danny Dimes, which, I mean, I give it up to Danny Dimes, but can he keep it going? I don't know. I mean, last week, I'm sorry, he showed a little regression. Let's not talk about last year. That was bad for him, right? But he showed a little regression. Some prior weeks he's shown some regression over time. But maybe it's just a competition too. So we'll keep track of that one as that plays out on Sunday. But I do think that line could be 3.5, 4. That's why value, guys, isn't when people say I play the number, I play the value. That's why it doesn't always matter. Because at the end of the day, like 3.5, 4, yeah, sure. Now that's value in the Texans, but it's not a big gap. You know, if you're playing it, you're just playing it because you want the action, in my opinion. You have to have, to me, there comes to a certain point where there's numbers, there's value, and then there's human element. And they both play into a game, along with trends or whatever. Everything plays into a game, and that's why nothing's ever for sure. So let's go to the next game, though. Jaguars, Titans. Jag minus 6.5. The Titans are so bad, but I don't think Trevor Lawrence is that great, right? So I think this line's kind of high. I really do. I think this line can be 4.5. But are you gonna have the conies to go over there and take the fucking Titans at the plus 6.5? I don't know. That's a numbers game. That to me, there's enough value there. But now you have to throw in the human element, right? Human element has Cam Ward been getting better? Is this Tennessee Titans team ready to win a game and just put a complete game together? I don't know. That's what you're really betting on when you look at this game, right? Because realistically, the line is inflated, but do you trust Trevor Lawrence if you're on the Jaguar side? Do you trust the Tennessee Titans, Cam Ward's progression as he's been doing? I don't know. It's a question you have to ask yourself. I definitely think the line should be more closer to 4.5. my personal opinion on it. But we'll see how it plays out on Sunday. We'll go to that day, right? So then you're gonna have next game. We got the Rams and the Panthers. Ooh-wee. Rams are laying 10, 10.5. Holy shit, this is a high line. The Rams, they've covered, I want to say 6 games in a row. The Rams, or no, because I lied. They didn't cover against Seattle. That's where they fucked me, actually, by a point, even though they were covering most of it. I want to say like 6 out of the last 7 they've covered. But odds on favorite, they're the odds on favorite to win the bowl. They have the experience there. This line seems super high to me. Really, really fucking high. It really does. But depends on what Bryce Young you're gonna get. I definitely think this line should be under 10. I'm not saying it should be like 6.5 or maybe even 7, but I definitely think the line should be under 10. Um, it's just, can you really bet that Panther team after that poor outing that they had on Monday night against the Niners? They couldn't get anything going. They were that turnover. So did the Niners. It was kind of anybody's game. I just they might be missing J.C. Horn at the corner spot. They might be missing one of their linebackers. That's going to affect you against a team like the Rams. But you could be getting backdoor cover. So just know if you're taking the Rams, you could get backdoor. If you're taking the Panthers, you might need a backdoor. This is one of those things. So that to me that seems super inflated though. I will tell you guys that. Let's go to the next game. Saints, Dolphins. Dolphins laying the 6 at home. Man, that game's ugly. I definitely think that's too high of a line. I, I don't think the Dolphins are that great. That game should be 4.5. Granted, the Dolphins come out and kick their ass, right? They really could, but I'm just calling it how I see it. I give that spread 4.5 point spread, and that's just if anything, they might have increased it because of Tyler Shuck playing, and he didn't look too great last week. But the Saints can also throw in. Maybe that's why they added in the extra point and a half. But the Saints can also run the ball at Taysom Hill, so they got options over there. And I think their defense is decent enough to stop them. It's just going to depend on how it's gonna play out realistically. So, is what it is. Saints, Dolphins. I don't know. I guess we go there, and then we see Sunday why they put the line at that. I definitely think it shouldn't be that high. I think it should be closer to 4. Doesn't mean I'm gonna play the Saints, so I'll tell you guys that much. So, Falcons, Jets. Falcons minus a 2.5 on the road. That seems expensive. I know the narrative is the Jets suck. I know it's gonna be the Falcons just beat the Saints, but realistically, did they look that impressive? Probably not. Still, I don't think they're still no, they're not gonna have Drake London. The Jets, can they stop Bijan Robinson? I definitely do think they could stop Bijan Robinson. I mean, if you look at the Jets, if you guys give me a quick second here, I'm gonna give you guys their EPA. I could pull up DVA too, but I'm gonna pull up their EPA defensively. So and that's just me looking at metrics and seeing where they're at. So I mean they're not too high, man. They rank 26th. They rank 26th defensively against the rush. They do okay. I want to say they do amazing. So that's going to be a Bijan Robinson game for the Falcons, in my opinion. But I wouldn't doubt it if the Jets covered it. It could get up to 3. Maybe there's going to be a little more professional money coming on Atlanta. I just don't see. I don't see that line being more than 3. I think the line being at 3, and you're gonna have to trust Kirk Cousins. As it is right now, I think that line is perfect. I really do, but I don't know if it's gonna be Tyrod. I don't know if it's gonna be Justin Fields. Just kind of go based off of that and how that rolls, right? Next game we're gonna go to Niners Browns. Niners minus the 5 in Cleveland. I think this line's high. I really, really do. I think it should be 3.5, 4. Take a drink of my water real quick, but I think it's gonna be 3.5, 4. I think it should be, and I definitely think it should be 3.5 or 4 because the Browns defense is solid, man. They rank top 5 in a lot of EPA categories, DVOA categories defensively. The offense is what's gonna struggle, right? But the Niners defense isn't that great, so I could see this game being a real ugly game in Cleveland, especially if the weather's ugly, especially with Purdy throwing those 3 picks on Monday. But I think the line should be 3.5, 4. The Browns burned me last week. I had the Raiders. Fucking Geno Smith is so bad. I even got kicked out of a Survivor because of the Raiders. That was fucking horrible. Making it to week 12 and then just pitiful, pitiful, man, pitiful. I got to learn my lesson with that because that Geno has burned me more than a handful of times. I'll tell you guys that. And shame on me at this point. But I definitely think that line should be 3.5, 4. I definitely think that these teams, especially being in Cleveland, they could be a little more evenly matched, man. I can see a little more of a fucking struggle in the fight. I don't know if Shador is going to be able to move the ball too efficiently. I know he didn't do too great against the Raiders. Even when I saw it was mainly the defense in that game. Defense is travelable. When they're at home, they play even better. So we'll see what happens with that game, man. Next game, Seahawks Vikings. Whoo-wee, this is a high line, 12 points, man. Wow. This is pretty much no respect to McCarthy. Realistically, that's how I see it. No respect to McCarthy. Seahawks minus a 12. I definitely think that the Seahawks at home are a fucking tough out. Real tough out. I can't even say this line is wrong. I really can't. I really can't even say the line is wrong, man. It's crazy because I can't. I think the line is where it should be because that defense is tough. The offense can make big plays. The Vikings defense is not what it used to be. So, if anything, maybe the blitz will affect Darnold, but I doubt it, man. If the only thing you'd have going for you here is two things. Darnold knows the Vikings defense. The Vikings know Sam Darnold because he played for them last year. So is Flores going to be able to shake Darnold with his weaknesses? I don't know. Is Darnold going to be able to exploit Minnesota and kind of get a game plan together with head coach to exploit that defense, which is even weaker this year? Possibly, man. That could be a backdoor game. That could be an ugly blowout game. Next game, Bills minus a 3.5 at the Steelers plus 3.5. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is playing. I think the line should be 3. But I understand why they're putting 3.5. The Bills played a tough Texans team, and that Texans defense is no joke. So I think that line should be 3. I personally just don't see 3.5. I need to see why they put it. Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin's spot. This is a classic spot where the Pittsburgh Steelers will bounce back and they'll at least give effort at home and their dogs. So I personally like. Like this line to be. I'm sorry. I would like this line to be minus 3 personally because I don't think you should give him the half point. It is a tough one too. But then you got Josh Allen on the other side. Are they going to sell you the Josh Allen that they think is going to come out, or is it going to be a Pittsburgh Steelers underdog spot, man? And then again, there's a lot of questions at the quarterback spot. Even if Rodgers plays, is he going to be healthy enough? Next game, Raiders Chargers minus 9.5. That's a fucking, to me, I think that line should be 10 at this point because, dude, the Raiders, they're just bad. They're bad. Geno Smith is bad. The defense, which I thought was better, is just, I think they just give up. Crosby's a beast. The defense is pretty good on the D line, but I think they just end up giving up. So to me, this line is perfect. 9.5 could be 10. Shit, doesn't matter. Can I see the Raiders winning the game? You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I could. Doesn't mean I'd bet them. There's no fucking way. I don't think I could bet the Raiders. I just don't. Not saying I never want to say never, right? Because I do dig into games, but the way Geno Smith and that offense has burned me has been bad. The only thing you have going for you is different play caller. They fired Chip Kelly, so we'll see what happens. It's a division game, man. I'm telling you guys, like when division games happen, crazy shit happens. But that line is right, regardless of what happens in the outcome of that game. Next game, Broncos Commanders. Broncos on the road facing the Commanders. I think that line is too high. I think that line should be 4.5. I definitely think 4.5. It's 5.5 right now. I think I've seen it up as high as 6. I think the Commanders, yeah, they have Mariota there, and they have some pieces on defense. I just think that this could be a spot where they show up and they wanna play better, but at the same time, Denver has to play well to keep that top seed in the AFC West. So Denver has a lot to play for, but even though the line should be 4.5. Gonna wrap it up with the Pats and the Giants. Pats lane 7 at home against the Giants. The Patriots have just been covering spreads, beating everybody. It's fucking crazy. Crazy. At the end of the day, I definitely think that the Patriots are really solid. The Giants just find ways to lose games. I think Malik Neighbors had said that, right? And he deleted the tweet. But they really do. I don't know if it's their coaching or what exactly it is, but The Pats laying the 7 at home. Oh man, it's the Giants compete, man. So I wouldn't count them out of that game. But at the same time, the Patriots are just they're well coached. They have a good young quarterback. Yeah, he's gonna make mistakes sometimes. Drake May. They found Henderson who can run the ball now. I think the line being 7, even if it was 7.5, I wouldn't think it's too much. That one's typically, I mean, technically, they're all a gamble, right? But this one's really a gamble because you can have the Giants team that shows up, or you can have the Pats team that just blows them out fundamentally and physicality wise and play calling wise, coaching wise, everything. They just outplay them. So just give you guys a quick rundown this week. Since it's me by myself, I think try not to make it too long. I don't want to bore you guys just with my voice because I know it's better when there's a different perspective. But I'll wrap it up with Tom Tom's Thursday pick of the week. KC -3. Good luck to you, Tom Tom. I want to say have a happy Thanksgiving to all you guys out there with your families, whoever you're celebrating with, friends, family. Just have a happy Thanksgiving. Have a happy holiday. It's great to watch some football and eat some food on Thanksgiving, and just really be grateful for a lot of things. It's something as simple as just hanging out, watching games, But if anybody, as always, listens to the pod, you can reach out to me, say, listen to the pod, give me the promo for the pod, give you half off of any CJ VIP package. So you can let me know that. You know where to find me. CJ Wins on Instagram or Telegram, or CJ Wins Sports channel is on Telegram. That's CJWINNS. I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving, man, and enjoy your weekend. As always, make sure it's a profitable weekend. Winning $1 is better than losing anything. I promise you guys that, man. So always make sure you're moving ahead, and don't be a Woody. Do your homework, do your research, and let's go, man. Have a happy Thanksgiving to you guys. We'll follow up next week with Tom Tom here with his other Thursday pick. Let's see where he's going to end up. He's either going to be even next week, or he's either going to be 6-6 on the year, or he's going to be 7-5. So I'm pulling for him to hit that 7-5, but can't do it for him. The teams have to do it for him, and he's got to do his homework for himself at that point, But like I said, you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. And let's kill it this weekend, man. If you're in my VIP, I'm looking forward to it. I like this time of the year, so let's get it.